Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamadhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. We are seeing the technical terms used in all our scriptures, which have been comprehensively presented in the small book called Tatva Bodha. Not only it gives the essence of Vedantic teaching, but also it systematically introduces the technical terms. In Sanskrit, a technical term is called Paribhasha Shabda. We are seeing the Paribhasha Shabdas of the scriptures. Paribhasha means technical, Shabdaha means term. In the last session, I introduced the technical term Sadhana Chatushtayam. Sadhana means qualification and Chatushtayam means fourfold. Sadhana Chatushtayam means the fourfold qualification. And we also saw what those four qualifications are, and we also saw how they have to be acquired. And these qualifications are meant for gaining self-knowledge, which will lead to a person's liberation or freedom. Today, I propose to introduce the next technical word used in the Shastras, and that is Sarira Trayam. Sarira Trayam means the threefold bodies of an individual. Trayam means threefold, and Sarira means body. Shariram is otherwise known as Dehaha also. Therefore, we can say Dehatrayam also. We will take each one of the three bodies and analyze. The three bodies enumerated are Sthula Shariram or Sthula Dehaha, Sthula Sthoola, Sthula Shariram. Then the second one is called Sukshma Shariram or Sukshma Dehaha. And the third one is called Karana Shariram or Karana Dehaha. In English, Sthula Shariram is called gross body, Sukshma Shariram is called subtle body, and Karana Shariram is causal body, not casual body. Causal, C-A-U-S-A-L. Now we will take each one for analysis. While analyzing, I am going to take four factors associated with each one of them. Four factors are the material out of which each body is made, the raw material. So which we always see. Whenever we buy clothes, what is the material it is made up of? Original silk, artificial silk, ennalam irukku illaya. Therefore, the raw material, number one. The second factor that we will study is the components of each body. The components are the parts which make up the particular body. Then the third that we will see is the function of each body. Material, components, function, and fourthly and finally, we will study the nature of each one of them. The nature. Now we will take up Sthula Shariram for study, and we will go in that order. The material, the components, the function, and the nature. What is the material out of which the Sthula Shariram is made? Shastra points out, and we also know, that gross body is made out of gross matter, which is in the form of the 5 gross elements. In the scriptures, matter is divided into 5 elements basically, not the elements of the chemistry. In chemistry, they have many elements. In the Shastra, they talk about 5 elements, you know. Number 1, Akasha or space. Number 2, air or Vayu. Number 3, Agni or fire. Number 4, Jalam or waters. Number 5, Prithvi or the earth. So the gross body or Sthula Shariram is made up of gross matter in the form of the gross 5 elements. In Sanskrit, gross 5 elements are called Sthula Pancha Bhutani. Sthula Pancha Bhutani. And this is easily proved by our experience also, because the body has got earth, it is solid stuff. Body has got plenty of water, which alone gives the shape. Body has got Agni in the form of temperature, 98.7. You have got the warmth of the body. And body has got Vayu in the form of life breath. And body has got, of course, Akasha, space occupied by the body. And of course, lot of space inside the stomach and sometimes inside the head also. Akasha. So what is the material? Gross matter is the material out of which the body is made. And since it is made out of Sthula Bhutani, Bhuta means elements. Careful. Bhutana, Bhutam, Predam, Pishadam. Bhutam means the elements. The body is called Bhautika Shariram. Bhautika means born out of Bhutas. Bhuta means gross element. This is the material. Then the next factor with regard to body is the components of the body. Of course, body has got innumerable components. If we get into the details, it will become a science of anatomy. For the sake of convenience, the Shastra divides the body into the body, the central body, the head, the hands, and the legs. Broad classification, 4 components. Shira, Paksha, Pucha, Atma. In Taittiriya Upanishad, Shirah, Paksha, Pucha, Atma. Shiraha, head. Paksha means the 2 hands, the sides. And Pucha means the legs. And Atma means the central body. You forget the Sanskrit word, remember the English. These are the 4 components of this Sthula Sharira. Then what is the third factor to be analyzed? The function of this body. The scriptures point out the body is only a temporary residence used by the individual. The gross body is only a temporary residence or tenement. It is only a house for a leased house. And what is the payment? The payment is in the form of your karma, punya, papa, karma dollars you have to pay. And with the help of the karma dollars or whatever be the currency, you have got this. And as long as the payment remains, this tenement will be available. Afterwards, the notice will come, you have to vacate. Sometimes the notice may not come also. Therefore, body is a temporary residence. In Sanskrit, Tatva Bodha uses the word ayatanam. And residing in the body alone, we do all the transactions with the world. In fact, before starting any transaction, first we fix up a residence. And remaining there alone, you can operate. First you should give the address, phone number. Now .com also you have to give. So we have got body.com. Remaining this .com, we do all the transaction. This is the function of the body, provides the residence. Then what is the fourth factor with regard to the body? The nature. Firstly, the body is of a changing nature. It is subject to modification. In Sanskrit, it is called savikaram. Vikaraha means modification. Savikara means with modification. It is changing. And the change in the gross body is classified into 6 Shad Vikara. So the first condition is the potential existence in the womb of the mother. Asti, a baby is there inside. Then the next change is called Jayate, birth in English. Potential existence to birth. Then the next is Vardhate. Once the body is born, it starts growing. And mother wants to see the child growing. Naaloru meniyum, poludoru vannamum, Tamil idioms ellam undu. So the child was growing. So this is the third. Then the fourth is Viparinamate. It is metamorphosing. Metamorphosing means growth has stopped, but only modification, changes continue. Up to 15 or 16 or 17, the body grows. And thereafterwards, the growth stops. It has to stop. If you keep on growing, the house will not be sufficient. So thereafter, it has become an adult body. Remaining adult, it undergoes various modifications, which you call aging. So if you put in terms of a graph, the graph initially goes upwards, thereafter it is same. And then what happens up to 40, 45 or 50, it depends from individual to individual. Thereafter comes declension, decay, or aging. We call it apakshiyate, growing old. So potential existence, birth, growth, metamorphosis, then decay. And what is the sixth and final? We all know, death of the body, after which we cannot keep the body for a long time. If at all one wants to keep, we have to do lot of processing. The body is dead and gone. This is called nashaha or maranam. All these put together is called shadvikaravat shariram. Then the second nature of the body or feature of the body is that it is visible for both oneself as well as others. My gross body, I can also tangibly experience and see, and my gross body, you can also experience, touch and see. And therefore, gross body is evident to oneself and others. And in fact, that is the reason it is called gross, objectively available for all the people. And what is the third feature or the third nature of the body? It is changing, it is evident to all, and finally, it has got a duration of life which is between 1 year minimum, or I don't know, a few months also, sometimes the child dies. So minimum 1 day to maximum 100 years or 120 years. This is the longevity of the physical body. You cannot extend that beyond. These are the 4 factors with regard to gross body. It is made out of gross matter. It has got 4 components. It serves as a tenement, and it is subject to change. In fact, the very word shariram means shiryamana swabhavam shariram, that which is subject to constant change and decay. And even the word deha is derived from the root dih, upachaya apachaye dih, that which is subject to expansion. Sometimes people go on growing, and then they have something and contraction. Sometimes the other way around also, contraction and then expansion. Upachaya apachaye dih dhatuhu. This is the first body, gross body. Now we will go to the second body called sukshma shariram or subtle body. And this also has got the 4 factors which we have to see in that order. What is the first one? The raw material out of which it is made. Scriptures point out the subtle body is born out of subtle matter, which consists of subtle 5 elements. Just as there are gross 5 elements, there are subtle 5 elements known as sukshma bhutani. And what are the subtle 5 elements? The same only. Subtle space, subtle air, subtle fire, subtle water, and subtle earth. In general, made out of subtle matter, and therefore subtle body is also bhautika shariram. It is material body. It is material in nature. Then secondly, we have to see the components of the subtle body. Scriptures point out, subtle body has got 19 components. 19 components are there, each one being one instrument of transaction. Because gross body is only the office, but we require instruments for a transaction, and we have got 19 instruments. What are they? Pancha Jnana Indriyani, 5 sense organs of knowledge. Because all transactions presuppose knowledge. You want to gather information first, thereafter only transaction. Therefore, 5 sense organs of knowledge. What are those sense organs? You know, the eyes, which are meant to gather the knowledge of colors and form. Rupa grahaka chakshurindriyam. And then we have got the ears, which are meant to gather the knowledge of sound, shabda grahaka shrotra indriyam. Then we have got nose, which is also another organ meant to gather the knowledge of all forms of smell, gandha grahaka grana indriyam, organ of smell. Then the 4th organ is tongue, which is meant to gather the knowledge of all forms of taste, rasa grahaka rasana indriyam, rasanendriyam. So eyes, nose, ear, tongue, and finally skin. We have got the skin which pervades all over the body, which is meant to gather the knowledge of varieties of touch, hard touch, soft touch, cold touch, hot touch, all of them. Sparsha grahaka tuvagindriyam. These are the 5 jnanendriyani, and you should be careful here. When we refer to the jnanendriyams or sense organs, we don't refer to the physical part which belongs to the physical body, but we are referring to the subtle power of perception behind the eyeball. The eyeball belongs to the physical body, but the eye organ belongs to the subtle body. The eye organ belongs to the subtle body. Similarly, ear lobe belongs to the gross body, but the ear organ, the power of hearing, the Shravana Shakti belongs to the subtle body. Thus, first 5 are known as Jnanendriyam. Then we have got 5 Karmendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, the 5 sense organs of action. So one is meant for input, another is meant for output. One is meant for receiving the stimuli, another is meant for expressing our responses. So responding instruments, a receiving instrument. And what are the 5 karmendriyas? The first one is the organ of speech, Vag Indriyam. That's how we first start responding. Pathadam wonderful, illina terrible. No, say something. Response, verbal response comes. And then Pani. Pani means the hands. So by which we do varieties of action. We shake hands congratulating a person, or we give a slap also if the stimuli is not that interesting. Mosquito comes and sits, what is the immediate response? Palar. Mosquito gets immediate moksha. Immediate response. You don't even think. So Pani can do better things. I have taken a negative example. All musical instruments, so they are played with the hands. Then we have got Pada, the organ of motion, the legs or the feet, the organ of locomotion by which we move from place to place. And there is a beautiful coordination between Jnanendriyam and Karmendriyam. The ears wants to listen to the class, then immediately the hands and legs, especially the legs, they bring the body. What a cooperative function. You get a nice smell in the hotel while going after the class. Masala dosha unnu saapittu poidrome. So immediate. So Pada. Then Payuhu. Payuhu is organ of evacuation, removing the waste. Wastage, removing organ, which is very important. So we have got onyx and all, to clean the roads. So we require something to clean the body permanently. So Payuhu, and then finally Upasthaha or Upastham, the organ of procreation or the organ of reproduction, because of which alone the species continues as a lineage. So Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, these are the 5 sense organs of action. So now how many? 5 plus 5, 10. Then we have got Pancha Prana. So the 5-fold pranas. So the energy generating system, fuel converting system. Because if you have to keep on acting, we have to generate energy constantly. So we use generator. Here we have got Prana Shakti behind the organs of action. Prana Shakti lends energy. And there are 5-fold pranas, well known as Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, and Samana. Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha. So people do, you must be familiar. Either we must be doing puja, then we will know, or at least chapter neeru chitana nyavam irukum. So if that habit is there, one will remember. Prana stands for the respiratory system. So the inhalation and exhalation, which alone has to absorb the Prana Shakti oxygen. And then the carbon dioxide has to go out, the oxygen has to go to the lungs, blood has to absorb, and it has to be circulated. Otherwise, we cannot survive. That is the energy. So, prana, the respiratory system. Apana is the evacuatory system, which is the energy behind the functioning of evacuation, wastage removal. In fact, any form of removal of waste can be called apana. Then the third one is called vyana. Vyana is what? The circulatory system. Oxygen has to be circulated, and the nutrition that is generated in the stomach, it is generated in the stomach only, but it has to be carried to all parts of the body. Like a factory requires a good transport system to reach the produce or the products to various parts. Big transaction, big factory is going inside, and we don't know until something postal strike. Suddenly we recognize, oh, there is something called postal department. Similarly, some block comes, they say bypass surgery required, 1.5 lakhs. Suddenly we remember, my God, I have been bypassing the bypass all the time. By the grace of the Lord. No block, all the roads, grand trunk roads, big roads, small roads, capillaries, they are all functioning very well, thank God. So therefore, vyana. Then the next one is called samanaha. Samanaha is digestive system which converts all the eaten food into various nutrition, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, salts, minerals, all those things. It has to be converted, or which a factory has to function. Because we are not eating directly carbohydrates or proteins. We use only paruppu and arishi. Adais, that too. We eat only adai. Because our tongue doesn't want carbohydrates. Tongue wants adai. Because in the cars and all, car doesn't have a tongue. Therefore, directly you can drop petrol. But imagine petrol is dropped inside our mouth. No, we have got a tongue also. Therefore, it should serve twofold purpose. It should cater to the taste also, and it should cater to energy also. So this is called samanaha. And finally, udanaha. Udanaha means the reversing system, which operates at the time of death generally, when all the processes are reversed because it is time for dying. So digestive system weakens, respiratory system weakens. Therefore, we require something to reverse the process. And also, this reversal system functions during emergency. Normally, the food has to go down. But suppose there is some hair or something which is not good for the system, which is toxic, immediately the normal process of going inside is reversed and things are thrown out. Vomiting, it is a reversal, not regular. Better it is not regular. Some people get that regular and the other thing irregular. I know. It's a big problem. Generally, they vomit once in a while, it goes inside. There is a disease. I know one person who had. That person had to die. No way out. So, it is called udanaha. So, thus prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana is called pancha pranaha. They are there, the life-giving one. They function behind the karmendriyas, giving energy to the karmendriyas. That is why on a fasting day, no karmendriya will function properly. You cannot walk, you cannot talk, because you are weakened. So now, pancha jnanendriyani, pancha karmendriyani, pancha pranaha, 3 into 5, 15. I hope you don't require calculator. 15. Then we have got 4 internal organs, in Sanskrit called antahkaranani. The 4-fold internal organ known as manaha or mind, buddhi, the intellect, chittam, memory, and ahankaraha, the ego. Mind, intellect, memory, and ego. What are they? Mind stands for all forms of emotional faculty, emotions. So roughly we can translate mind as the emotional faculty and also the doubting faculty. So doubt also belongs to the mind. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. In Sanskrit they define as Sankalpa vikalpatmakam. Should I do this or should I do that? Should I go to the class or should I not go to the class? Should I get up in this season or should I not get up? Everything we have got to be or not to be. That is called the mind. The second one is called buddhi, the rational faculty, the judging faculty, the discrimination faculty, the knowing faculty, the weighing faculty. I will use one word, rational faculty. Reasoning. Rationa, there it is not the ration card ration. This is reasoning faculty. So, buddhi. Then the third one is chittam. Chittam is a memory faculty to receive or to record our experiences in the mind. So we are talking about recording the classes so that it will be all imprinted in the tape so that you can play when you want. We have got audio, we have got video. In audio, only one is recorded, sound. In video, 2 are recorded. But Bhagavan has given us the greatest recorder, that is the mind or chittam, which records all the 5, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, and Gandha. All of them are recorded. And you need not change the tape in between. And the local people you have to see. I sometimes wonder whether they are listening at all. Because after 25 minutes, the auto stop won't work. So imagine in the middle of the class, you have to pluck the mind and reverse and put. And you have to buy every time from the shop imported. You have got this chittam which can remember what happened 25 years before my wife said that. Last Sunday, what Swamiji said, not known. Whether that is remembered or not, 25 years before, my wife said that your mother is not all right. That is the terrible thing. In almost all quarrels, this only happens. So therefore, chittam is fantastic memory, and according to Shastra, not only we remember the past of this life, in fact, it remembers the past janmas also. Without knowing the details, sometimes you feel something is already known. A musical prodigy feels he knows the music already. A spiritual prodigy feels he already knows all these things before. Therefore, chittam is memory faculty, anusandhanatmika. And then fourth one is ahankaraha, the ego, the faculty of self-reference, reflexive faculty, which is well developed in a human being. So animals are not that self-conscious regarding their status, their pedigree. The animals do not know well. No Alsatian dog, I don't know whether it knows. I am Alsatian, belong to a superior category. No. But this fellow, he will say, I am a Brahmana. I am a Kshatriya. I am so and so. That reflexive faculty, self-referral faculty is called ego. Ahankaranam ahankara. நான் சொல்லி எது சொல்றதோ அதுக்கு பேரு அகங்கார. So these four together are called Chatvari Antahkaranani. So totally how many? Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranaha, Chatvari Antahkaranani. 3 into 5 plus 4, 19 organs. These are the components of Sukshma Sarira. Then what is the next item we have to know? The function. The function is transaction. All forms of transaction are done by the Sukshma Sarira with the help of these 19 instruments. Some instruments are meant for input, some instruments are meant for output, some instruments are meant for both one-way traffic and two-way traffic. Mainly the mouth is the two-way traffic. It takes inside also in the form of Jnanendriyam and in the form of Karmendriyam, words come out. Thus it is two-way traffic. The others are one-way. This is the third factor. And the fourth factor is the nature of Sukshma Shariram. The nature is, this is also subject to change. So they improve and sometimes they weaken. In fact, many of the diseases are because of the weakening of the organ. Cataract comes, eyes are not able to see, ears go deaf, memory fails, intellect is dull. All these things, they are subject to improvement and weakening. So change is one feature. And the next feature is that this has got a longer life compared to the gross body. Gross body lives only for a maximum period of 120 years, but the subtle body continues in the next Janma, in the next Janma. Bodies and bodies are changed. Vasamsi jirnani, we will see in the Gita that the bodies are removed like clothes, whereas the mind continues, the intellect continues. That's why we are able to remember or get the benefit of the past Janma, because the body has changed, but the Sukshma Shariram continues. And it goes up to Pralayam. Only during Pralayam, Sukshma Sharira is dismantled. So it has got a longer life. And thirdly, Sukshma Sharira is evident, is recognizable only for oneself. It is not available for others. What is my mind, I know. What are my feelings, I know. But you are not able to see my mind. Mind I am taking as an example. My memory, my knowledge. And that's why we always complain, you never understand me. 25 years married. Now he says, this person has never understood me. Why? Because you cannot read the other person's mind or thought process. And because it is available only for me and not for others, it is called subtle body, not concrete like gross body. So this is the nature of Sukshma Shariram. So we have seen two bodies now. Now we have to go to the third body. Sukshma Sharirathila 4 item paathachu. Material, components, function and nature. Now we have to go to Karana Shariram. In English, causal body. We will take up the first item. What is the material out of which it is made? The material out of which it is made is called causal matter, the subtlest form of matter. It is the subtlest form of matter. Technically, it is called avidya. Very technical word. Don't take the regular meaning. Normally, avidya means what? Ignorance. But in this context, a very technical word is used, avidya. Sometimes they use the word prakriti, etc. Sometimes they use the word maya. So we will retain this word avidya or karana shariram, the causal matter. Causal matter is the subtlest form of matter. Then we have to find out what are the components of Karana Shariram. The components of Karana Shariram is nothing but Sthula Sukshma Shariram. When they are in subtle or potential form before they were created. So, Karana Shariram consists of Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram in seed form, not now, before they were created, which means before the origination of the world, before the origination of creation, or Pralaya Kale, Sthula Shariram was not there, Sukshma Shariram was not there, as it is available now, but both Sthula and Sukshma Sharira existed in seed form. Like what? A tree that you see now, a few years before, was not available in this form. 20 years before, this tree, in this tree form, it was not available. Then how was it? It was there, but not in this form, but in potential form, unmanifest form. Because tree can never come without a seed because of the law of conservation of matter. Matter can never be produced or destroyed. Matter always exists. That being so, before the creation also, Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram must have existed in potential form. That potential form of the two bodies is called Karana Shariram. So, seed. And Karana Shariram evolves into Sthula Sukshma Shariram, just as seed evolves into tree, Karana Shariram evolves into Sthula Sukshma Shariram. So, this is the components. Then what is the third item? Function. What is the function? You can understand. It serves as a receptacle or the ground or the source from which these two bodies arise, and the two bodies will ultimately resolve into Karana Shariram. Because things come to manifestation from unmanifest condition, and then what will happen later? They manifest when they are destroyed. What will happen to them? When they are destroyed, what will happen? They will never disappear, because matter can never be destroyed. Whenever you destroy something gross, it will go back to unmanifest condition. If you want to put in scientific language, matter destroyed becomes energy. And what is energy? Unmanifest matter. And energy again condenses into what? Matter. Stars explode becoming energy, and energy condenses to form stars. In the universe, constantly stars are formed and destroyed. Stars are converted into energy, and energy is reconverted into matter by the law of interconvertibility of matter and energy. In Shastra, it is called interconvertibility of manifest and unmanifest matter. In Gita, Krishna says, Avyaktad vyaktaya sarvaha prabhavantyahārāgame ratriyāgame praliyante tatraiva avyakta samjnake. From causal matter, subtle and gross matter arise. From subtle and gross matter, again the causal matter conversion takes place. So therefore, what is its function? It serves as the storehouse for receiving the two shariram, and again in the next srishti, throwing the two shariram. Like a businessman, the roadside businessman in Bombay, you can see, who has got kerchief business. Will come with a suitcase and take out all the kerchief and spread all over. And when there is somebody coming, policeman, all of them will go inside. And again it will come out. So similarly, during Srishti, out of Karana Shariram, Sukshma Sthula Shariram will come. During Pralayam, Sthula Sukshma Sharira will go back to Karana Sharira. So this is the function. And what is the fourth component, fourth factor? It's nature. So material we have seen, components we have seen, function we have seen, only nature we have to see. The Karana Shariram has got the longest life compared to even Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Sarira gets dismantled during Pralayam at least. Pralayam means what? The resolution of the whole universe. Whereas Karana Shariram will not be destroyed even during Pralayam. It is there. It is supposed to go away only at the time of liberation. Anyway, that is too technical a topic. We need not go to that now. So it has got the longest life. And not only that, Sthula Shariram is available for all the people, me and others. Sukshma Shariram is evident to me only, not for others. Karana Shariram is not evident to me also and others also. It is unevident, it is undecipherable for anyone. So therefore it is called Nirvikalpaswarupam, indistinguishable. Just as the scientists say, Before Big Bang, what was the condition? Don't ask. Science can never decipher it. They call it singularity, in which informations are not available. Karana Shariram is like that only. So this is the nature of Karana Shariram. Every individual has got Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, Trayam. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.